Hello, it's so great to see each and every one of you today. Thank you so much for joining me. And this is going to be a series that I started a while back. My 85 things that I've really helped me through life and the best lessons that I've learned. And I'd really better get it done because I'm going to be 86 in a few weeks. So I'd better get this 85 stuff over with. I hope that you will join me. I had a wonderful, wonderful Thanksgiving. I'm going to talk to you about that. And let's get moving, shall we? Hello again. Well, this is the fourth time that I've started this video because my little Chihuahua mix seems to be hearing noises outside, and Chihuahuas bark, bark, bark. So every time I started this, he started barking. So if I'm lucky, I might be able to get through this video without a lot of barking in the background. Anyway, as you know, here in the United States, we had Thanksgiving, but we celebrated, my daughter and I, Thanksgiving a little bit early this year because I have a grandson who is 31 years old, and he's a flight attendant and was in here for an overnight trip in West Palm Beach at the Hilton Hotel. Brett and I went up there and met him and had such a wonderful, wonderful day. We had a delicious meal in an Italian restaurant that is in the hotel. And we more or less celebrated our Thanksgiving very early this year. So on Thanksgiving Day, we just did something so awesome. We were invited out, but we decided we really wanted to stay in. So we put together this huge charcuterie board with all kinds of dips and edamame and cheeses and crackers and fruit and carrots and all kinds of, crudité. And we placed it in front on the coffee table. I cleared the coffee table. We had all of that on the coffee table. And all we did on Thanksgiving, I did watch the parade in New York in the morning, but all we did was we sat and we watched movies, feel-good movies all day long. And our main meal was the charcuterie and the crudités that we had in front of us. And we were so full by the end of the day that we wound up having warm apple pie with low sugar ice cream. That was our Thanksgiving dinner. And honestly, it probably was one of the best Thanksgivings that I have had in a long, long time because I didn't feel pressure to do anything. I didn't have to cook. I was enjoying the company of my daughter. I had still good feelings about meeting with my grandson in Palm Beach. I had all of my children and my grandchildren FaceTiming. So it was a beautiful Thanksgiving my way. I didn't have the pressure of doing the big meal with a lot of people, even though we were invited to go to a restaurant with friends. This was our choice, and it was absolutely wonderful. I'd like for you to share maybe how you spent your Thanksgiving because it would be very interesting. But anyway, I did Thanksgiving this year my way, and it was absolutely so relaxing. But one thing that I always kept in mind is the gratitude that I have for all of my blessings. With that in mind, I am going to continue with the 85 lessons that I have learned through living all of these years. And so this is going to be part 4 of those. And the very, very first one, and believe it or not, all of these, my grandson and I had a nice talk out in the lobby, and he was asking me questions about how different because it's so difficult today for the young people. And he was asking me questions and things that maybe he might be able to take away that would help him cope with the lifestyle and the whole environment today. And the first thing that I said to him is, Marshall, always remember to stay humble and open-minded. Don't ever feel that you are better than anyone else, because you're not. We're all unique and everyone is so special on this earth. And don't have a closed mind on opportunities, on other people's opinions, on maybe a closed mind on what you can do with your life and whether or not there are advantages out there today that you can take under advisement. Don't have a closed mind and say, oh, the economy is so bad, I'm never going to be able to get ahead, or that contract that we are negotiating, it's never going to happen. Always keep an open mind. That is so, if I had closed my mind in my lifetime, so many opportunities would have passed me by. And that is the lesson that I learned, because I did miss some, because I had that closed mentality. But when I learned to open up my mind and be open to other people's opinions, open to possibilities that I never dreamed of, that's when my life moved forward. And I've just finished a book that's going to be probably available in the next 2 or 3 weeks. It's called From There to Here. And I talk about the 3 cornerstones, the things that have been so important to me, the most important to me in life, to be able to get where I am today. One of those cornerstones is resilience. Being resilient is so positive. And if you are not resilient and you're rigid in your opinions, you're rigid in your thoughts, and you walk down life with blinders on each side, you will miss so much of life, and you may not be able to find all of the opportunities that are available out there for you. Resilience to face adversity. No one has ever gotten through life without adversity. If you can't bend, if you can't get up off of your knees after you have been knocked down, you just might as well stay there, because that's where you will be in life. You have to have the resiliency to get up and move forward again with your life. How many times, and if you've read any of my autobiographies, how many times I have been knocked down to my knees and felt like crawling on my stomach. But I didn't stay there. I got up and I moved forward. But it's something I had to cultivate, something that I had to learn. And in all aspects of your life, emphasize quality over quantity. The quality of your life and the experiences you have outweigh all of the quantity of stuff that you can fill your life with. Always be so aware and ask yourself, do I need that? Is this going to improve my life? Is this going to make me happier? Is this going to move me forward? Is this going to make me joyful? If all of the answers to those questions that you ask yourself are, well, not really, then you know to let it go. Always be so mindful of putting quality above quantity in your life. Practice self-compassion and forgiveness of you. Quit flagellating yourself for every mistake that you've ever made, for every opportunity that you have missed, for things that have passed you by, or for gaining a little weight and or making a mistake at work, having a fight with a friend. Don't flagellate yourself. Give yourself more compassion and work it out. Self-respect is one of the most important things you can have in your life, because if you don't respect yourself, who else is? Who else is? Because who you are starts from within and shines from without. I started to grow in my life when I realized that I wasn't perfect, that I was going to make mistakes, but that I knew that I was worthy, and I was worthy of so much more than I really believed that I was. And when I turned my life around and realized, hey, you are unique, you are special, and you deserve. That is one of the best lessons I ever learned in my life. And that does help you move forward. In life, nothing is constant, is it? Nothing is constant. Everything is changing. The world is changing. Heaven knows, when I was born, and when I grew up, and when I was in high school, and when I was in college, and when I was working, and when I was raising my children, there have been so many changes that I have seen in my lifetime that I realized that nothing is constant. And I had to be able to go with the flow and not let these changes trip me up or freeze me in place. We have to be pliant. We have to be malleable. We have to be able to bend and adapt and adjust. People who do that are the most successful people in life. And by successful, I don't mean financially successful. Of course, that goes along with it. But they are the happiest people because they are able to adjust, and they are able to understand that life is not one note, life is not static, and that we have to bend and adjust. Don't give up your principles. Don't give up your morals. But you do have to adjust with changing times. And heaven only knows we are going through some very, very changing times. One thing I told him too is, Marshall, and we've spoken about this a lot if you followed me here on this channel, foster gratitude. Be grateful every single day that you wake up and that you know you have something ahead of you that day. Be grateful for whatever much stuff you have in your life that's so wonderful. Be grateful even if you have one little thing that you can think about that you're grateful for. Foster that feeling every single day of your life of gratitude, and it will serve you well. And the last thing I said to him, and I'll say to all of you, and I believe this with all of my heart, never, ever take anything for granted, because we never know what is going to be happening tomorrow. Live in the moment and enjoy every single moment of that day. Find positive energy. Find some way that you are reaching out and sharing your gifts with the world. But never, ever take it for granted that you're always going to be young, that you're always going to be successful, that you are always going to be healthy. Pray that you are, but we never, ever know what tomorrow will bring. It may bring plenty of blessings. It may bring something that knocks the wind out of our sails. But know that if you have resilience and you believe in finding something positive in that, it will never, ever fail you. So never, ever take anything for granted. And that's a lesson that I especially hold on to now that my window is closing, and I hate to even talk about that, but it's reality and it's the truth. Never, ever take your family, your loved ones, your health, your job, the world around you for granted. Thank you, Marshall, for asking me for advice. And I hope some of the things that I have talked to him about, and as you know, I have grandchildren from 2 to 31, so I might be doing this for a long time. I don't know. But God bless each and every one of you. I hope that you have a wonderful week ahead, and let's all try to live our best lives and be kind to one another, and know that wherever you are in the world, you are never alone, and that you are truly, truly loved. Thank you. Thank you for being here. And if you want to subscribe, I would really, really love that too, because it helps me reach out to others in a wider scope. Take care, and I hope to see you next week.